Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the channel where we take all that finance talk and translate it into stuff that actually hits your wallet in real life. If you've walked into a grocery store lately and looked at the egg prices, like, wait, did eggs get a new luxury tax? Yeah, you're not crazy. I felt that too. We're in some weird economic times in 2026. Rates are bouncing around, home prices are still acting like gravity doesn't apply to them, and everybody's doing mental math at the checkout line. But here's what I learned the hard way. The economy isn't some mystical monster only suits in glass towers can understand. It's more like a machine. Not perfect, not fair, but predictable, because it runs on a few basic rules that repeat over and over. So today, I'm going to break this down with a fresh coat of paint, no textbook voice, no robotic jargon, just real-world logic you can actually use. We're going to talk about why rent feels insane, why borrowing got so expensive, and why your savings account is suddenly throwing you a little interest like it's doing you a favor. And instead of speaking in abstract theories, I want you to meet two friends of mine, let's call them Joe and Sarah, just regular people trying to make smart moves in a messy year. By the end of this, you'll see the mechanism behind the chaos, and you'll know how to position yourself so you don't get steamrolled when the cycle swings. All right, hit like if you want the algorithm to stop feeding people garbage money takes, and let's jump into how the machine actually works. Because I get it, on the surface, the economy looks like billions of random decisions happening all at once. But when you zoom out, it's like an engine. Pistons, gears, patterns. People do what people always do: spend, save, borrow, panic, repeat. And that movement basically comes down to three forces that push everything around: productivity growth, the short-term debt cycle, and the long-term debt cycle. We're going to spend most of our time on the debt cycles because that's the part you feel when your mortgage quote makes you laugh and cry at the same time. But before we talk about the big, scary debt bomb stuff, we've got to start at the basement level of the whole system. The foundation of the entire economy is one simple thing: a transaction. A transaction happens every time you buy a coffee, a crypto coin, or, a Tesla you swear you needed. In every transaction, a buyer gives money or credit to a seller, and the seller gives goods, services, or a financial asset back. That's it. That's the whole game. Stack billions of those together, and congrats, you've built the economy. Now here's where it gets spicy. That money part is actually two different things: cash and credit. And most of what people casually call money in the real world isn't cash, it's credit. That difference matters a lot more than people realize. Because if you pay with cash, it's done immediately. You hand over the bills, you get the thing, you walk away. Clean. But if you pay with credit, like a card, a loan, buy now, pay later, you're making a promise. You're creating a liability. So total spending in the economy is basically all the cash spent plus all the credit used across all those transactions. And if you ever want to understand why prices are going up, you look at that spending number compared to how much stuff is actually being produced. When spending grows faster than the real production of goods and services, prices rise. And that's inflation. So keep this simple equation in your head. Total spending equals cash plus credit. That's the lever behind most of what you see in markets. A market is just buyers and sellers doing transactions for the same thing: wheat, cars, houses, stocks, whatever. And the economy is just all those markets put together. If you really get transactions, you already understand more than most people arguing on TV. Now let me introduce Joe and Sarah, young couple out in the suburbs. They're not trying to get rich quick. They just want a normal life, and maybe a house that doesn't cost their entire future. Joe's in tech sales. Sarah's a graphic designer. Hardworking, smart, not reckless. The kind of people who did everything right and still feel like the game got harder. They're part of the productivity story, getting a little better each year, earning a little more, trying to build something over time. And productivity is the long-run engine. It's what actually creates real wealth. But productivity doesn't explain why housing goes crazy, why stocks swing like a wrecking ball, or why everything suddenly feels unaffordable. That volatility mostly comes from the thing that makes the economy run hot and cold: credit, aka debt. And credit is powerful, but it's also the most misunderstood part of the system, so it's the part that traps people. Think of credit like fuel. It lets Joe and Sarah spend more than they earn for a little while. Like, imagine Joe goes to the bank for a car loan. The bank's the lender, Joe's the borrower. The bank wants interest, Joe wants the car now. And here's the wild part: when the bank approves that loan, they basically create new credit on the spot. In that moment, there's suddenly more purchasing power in the system than there was a minute ago. It feels like magic, but it's just how the machine is built. Joe gets a debt liability for him, but for the bank, that loan is an asset. Deal done. Now Joe spends that money. And remember, one person's spending is another person's income. Joe buys the car for 50 grand, and the salesperson just made 50 grand in revenue. Now that salesperson has more income, so it becomes easier for them to borrow too. They go get approved for a home renovation loan, pay contractors, and now the contractors have more income. And that's how the cycle feeds itself. More spending, more income, more borrowing, more spending. That's the expansion phase. It feels amazing, like everybody's winning. We saw a version of that in 2024 and 2025. Jobs were holding up, people kept spending, and the economy just kept moving even when everyone was doom posting. But here's the catch: nobody gets to borrow forever without the bill showing up. Borrowing is basically stealing, spending from your future self. You're making a deal with future you to tighten the belt later. So spending rises now, but it has to fall later so you can pay the debt back. And this doesn't just happen to individuals, it happens to entire countries too. That up and down motion is the short-term debt cycle, usually something like 5 to 8 years. And right now, Joe and Sarah are feeling the squeeze because we're likely in the later stage of one of those cycles. Here's the problem with humans, Joe, Sarah, politicians, everybody. We love the up part of the cycle way more than the down part. So when rates fall, people don't rush to pay off debt. They usually do the opposite. They borrow even more. Year after year, decade after decade, debt grows faster than income, quietly, slowly, until one day it's massive. That's how bubbles form. We've seen it before. 2008, 1929 different assets. Same behavior. In a bubble, prices go nuts. Houses, stocks, crypto, everything's going up, and everyone feels rich, even though most of it is debt. Banks look at Joe and Sarah and say, "Hey, your house is worth $1 million now. You're good for another loan." They focus on the asset value going up, not on whether Joe and Sarah can actually afford the payments long term. Eventually, the math breaks. Debt payments eat more and more of income until there's nothing left. That's when the system hits the wall and we enter the danger zone, deleveraging. In a deleveraging, cutting interest rates doesn't fix things because rates are already near zero. This is the nightmare setup. Borrowers are tapped out, banks are stressed, and the whole system freezes. Joe and Sarah fall behind on the mortgage. They try to sell the house, but everyone else is selling too. Prices crash. Their house is suddenly worth less than the loan. The collateral disappears. Now banks pull back even harder. Lending dries up. Cash becomes the only thing anyone trusts. In a normal recession, rate cuts save the day. But in a deleveraging, that lever is broken. That's why the Great Depression dragged on and why 2008 almost broke the system. So when everything's falling apart and the old tools don't work, what do policymakers actually do? They've got 4 big levers they can pull. None of them are painless. Lever 1 is austerity. Everyone cuts spending to try to pay down debt. Sounds responsible, like going on a diet. In reality, it hurts because your spending cut is someone else's income cut. If Joe tightens his belt, the economy shrinks, and the debt problem actually gets worse. Lever 2 is defaults and restructuring, basically admitting, yeah, this money isn't coming back. Banks panic, people rush to pull cash, and suddenly you've got bank runs. That's a depression the moment everyone realizes a lot of wealth was just promises that can't be kept. Those two levers alone are brutal, which is why governments rarely stop there. That brings us to the other two levers, the ones that keep the system from fully imploding. But let's be honest, telling people to accept austerity or defaults is political suicide, which leads straight into lever 3, redistribution. In a crisis, wealth concentrates at the top. Meanwhile, people like Joe and Sarah are drowning. That tension between haves and have-nots explodes into politics, protests, and social instability. Governments raise taxes, expand safety nets, and try to rebalance the system, but it often comes with backlash and capital flight. History shows this is a dangerous phase, prime time for populism and radical leadership shifts. And then there's the final lever, the one policymakers love because it feels like a cheat code: printing money. Instead of cutting spending and causing deflation, printing money injects fuel directly into the system. But here's a detail most people miss. The central bank and the government are not the same thing. The central bank can create money, but it can only use it to buy financial assets. The government can spend money on real stuff, checks, programs, infrastructure, but it can't print the money itself. So in a crisis, they team up. The central bank prints, buys government bonds, and funds massive deficits. That's how cash gets pumped straight into the economy. We saw this play out in real life: stimulus checks, PPP loans, emergency spending everywhere. If done right, this offsets the deflation from defaults and keeps the system alive. If done wrong, you torch the currency. It's a tightrope. Print too little and the depression deepens. Print too much and you get runaway inflation. History has plenty of horror stories, countries that abuse the printer without real productivity to back it up. All right, let's zoom back in on Joe and Sarah in 2026 and see what all this money printing actually feels like on the ground. When the central bank starts buying bonds, it pushes asset prices up and floods the system with cash. If Joe already owns a house or has money in a 401, his net worth suddenly looks amazing on paper. He feels richer, more confident, maybe even starts spending again. But if Sarah has been doing the responsible thing, saving cash in a checking account, her money just quietly lost buying power. Nobody sends her a bill saying, "Congrats, your dollars are worth less now." But she feels it every time she pays rent or buys groceries. This is how the wealth gap widens money printing rewards people who already own assets. That's why you'll see the stock market hitting all-time highs, while normal people are asking why a burger costs $20. It creates the illusion of prosperity. The numbers go up, but the currency underneath them is getting weaker. For Joe and Sarah, it's confusing: raises show up, but the bills rise faster. This phase is reflation, and it's extremely hard to manage without breaking something. If policymakers leave rates too low while printing too much, inflation comes roaring back. Then the central bank panics, slams the brakes, raises rates, and boom, we're right back where we started. It's a constant game of keeping the engine running without overheating it or stalling it completely. But zoom out even further, and you realize this isn't just an economic story, it's a geopolitical one. When a country struggles with debt and internal inequality, it becomes vulnerable. Internal stress often spills into external conflict, especially when a rising power challenges the dominant one. This is where the global balance starts shifting, not just markets. For decades, the U.S. has had a massive advantage. It issues the world's reserve currency. That means America can borrow cheaper than everyone else and print money the world still accepts. But when you lean on that privilege too hard, other countries start getting nervous. It's like lending money to a friend who keeps paying you back with handwritten IOUs. Eventually, you stop accepting the napkins and ask for something real: gold, commodities, real assets. That's the risk for the dollar. Abuse the system long enough, and trust erodes. History shows every major empire follows this arc: rise through productivity, get rich, rack up debt, print to survive, then decline. Joe and Sarah don't think about empires falling when they're buying milk, but it's baked into that price. Right now, we're late in that long-term cycle: high debt, political polarization, and rising global tension. Knowing where we are in the cycle is the difference between protecting your money and being blindsided. So what do you actually do with this information? First lesson: when the printers are running hot, cash quietly bleeds value. Holding piles of cash during inflation is basically agreeing to lose purchasing power slowly and politely. You want assets that can reprice real estate, commodities, strong businesses? But when everything crashes and deflation hits, cash suddenly becomes king. The trick is reading the signals. Are policymakers tightening, or are they printing? And in 2026, we're stuck in the messy middle trying to balance both. So for Joe, this means playing it smart. He doesn't over-leverage into a house just because everyone on Instagram says real estate only goes up. But he also knows hoarding cash under the mattress isn't the answer either. Once you understand how the machine works, the fear starts to fade. You stop seeing villains everywhere and start seeing levers being pulled. And that changes everything, because now you're reacting less and anticipating more. If a government is drowning in debt, history says one thing very clearly: eventually, they print. That means betting long-term against the currency and leaning toward real assets usually wins. But there's another layer people miss. This isn't just about money. It's about competition between nations. Countries compete the same way companies do, and that friction changes the rules of the economic game. Joe and Sarah's job security isn't just about interest rates. It's about supply chains, trade, and geopolitical stability. When global cooperation breaks down, efficiency drops, costs rise, and productivity takes a hit. That's why your portfolio has to survive more than just a recession. It has to survive a changing world order. It's all about balance. Some assets protect you from inflation. Some protect you in a slowdown. Some grow when innovation takes off. Most people chase whatever's hot, buying at the top, selling at the bottom, repeating the same mistakes every cycle. But when you understand cycles, you expect reversals. You don't panic when things break, you prepare. Because this machine doesn't care about your opinions, your politics, or your feelings. It only cares about the math. Spending equals money plus credit, and debt always has a bill. Those brutal deleveraging periods, they're the system flushing out excess, painful, but necessary. They clear the runway for the next wave of growth and innovation. For Joe and Sarah, the goal isn't beating the machine, it's riding it without getting thrown off. That means manageable debt, living below your means, and owning things with real value. It sounds boring, and yeah, it kind of is, but boring keeps you solvent when everyone else is panicking. So far, we've talked about transactions, debt cycles, and the levers that control the system. But there's one last piece that makes this personal: your career. Work is changing just as fast as money, driven by the exact same forces. In the final part, we're going to look forward and turn all this theory into a simple, practical checklist. You'll know what headlines actually matter and which ones are just noise. We'll also talk about wildcards like AI and technology and how they could rewrite parts of this cycle. Because history rhymes, but it doesn't copy-paste. And 2026 has tools that past generations never had. Joe and Sarah need to upgrade their skills just as much as they manage their money. So stick with me, because in the final segment, we're turning insight into action. We're building a real survival guide for the years ahead so you can thrive, not just survive. Think of this next part like a cheat sheet for a test the economy is about to throw at you. Because the machine keeps turning whether you're ready or not, and the goal is to be the one turning the gears, not getting crushed by them. So let's turn all this macro theory into something you can actually use. Rule number 1, don't sit in naked cash for too long. I know it feels safe seeing that bank balance, but in a debt-heavy world, cash melts quietly. You want exposure to productive assets, businesses, real estate, or scarce things that can't be printed. Think of things like gold or even digital scarcity as insurance, not lottery tickets. Not all in, not reckless balanced. Rule number 2, understand your own debt before the cycle turns against you. If you've got adjustable rate debt in a high rate world, you're gambling with your future. Joe locks in stability where he can because predictability beats flashy upside. And if you run a business, cash flow matters more than paper valuation. Cash flow survives recessions. Rule number 3, the most important one. You are the most valuable asset you own. The skills that paid well 10 years ago might not save you 10 years from now. Sarah doesn't just watch interest rates, she watches technology and adapts. AI, automation, new tools, these are forces pushing productivity faster than ever. Debt and money printing push prices up, while technology pushes costs down. You need to play both sides. That means investing in innovation while protecting yourself from currency dilution. Align yourself with productivity, and you give yourself a long-term edge. Now let's talk about the headlines, because they're designed to scare you. You'll hear about debt ceilings, currency wars, market crashes, fear sells, but now you know what's really happening. The machine adjusting. When you see money printing, you don't panic, you reposition. When you see a recession, you don't run, you recognize a reset. The biggest fortunes weren't made in calm times, they were made by people who stayed rational during chaos. So let's close this out by checking back in with Joe and Sarah. They didn't stretch for the mansion, they diversified globally, and they kept learning. Because they respected the cycle, the downturn was a speed bump, not a cliff. And you have that same choice to be a victim of the economy or a student of it. We're living through history right now. It's messy, uncomfortable, and volatile, but full of opportunity. Zoom out. Look at the decades, not the daily noise. Because the people who win aren't the ones with the best predictions, they're the ones with the best preparation. So take a hard look at your money, your debt, and your skills. The machine isn't evil, it's mechanical. And once you understand it, you stop fearing it and start using it. If this helped you see the bigger picture, let me know down in the comments. Are you preparing for inflation or deflation? Hit like if this gave you clarity, and subscribe if you want to keep tracking this cycle together. Because the world is changing, the order is shifting, but your financial future is still in your hands. Thanks for hanging out with me. Stay sharp out there. I'll see you in the next one.